boy, they sold oodles of CDs. Between 2003 to 2013, they had 4 big selling CDs, and they sold 25 million. 25 million CDs. Well, what I meant to say, they had 4 really top-selling albums, and then they sold 25 CDs around the world in that 10-year period, 2003 to 2013. They debut at number 24, the highest debut on my fantasy playlist of July 25th, 2005, from Hot Fuss, The Killers, All the Things That I've Done. Boy, do I remember watching that black and white video on MTV and VH1 late nights back in the summer of 2005. Reminiscing about 2005. The Killers, man, well, they killed it. And I don't mean that as a pun. The 80s is all over this, and that's probably because Brandon Flowers was inspired by 80s music. The Cars, the Psychedelic Furs, Simple Minds, Duran Duran. Instead of Nirvana and Tool, which all of his peers was listening to, he heard the clarion call of the 80s music. And it shows in the Killers. Hot Fuss was their breakthrough album, no doubt about that. Somebody told me back in the summer of 2004 that came out. And then, of course, Mr. Brightside. That's their biggest hit. Everybody remembers Mr. Brightside. And then, oh my gosh, spring 2005, Smile Like You Mean It. The 80s is there. It's an 80s flashback. It's like Brandon Flowers been listening to the Simple Minds and Scandal and saying, you know something, I want to make something that sounds very 80s. I want to go back. Take me back to the big 80s, baby. And he sure did. Smile Like You Mean It. Unfortunately, their 4th single, I think this is their 4th single that I'm going to play for you, which is All the Things That I've Done, didn't do as well. Only got as high as number 75. Here in the States. Went to number 18 in Britain, though. Of course, the Killers were real big in England. They had that British new wave sound, that 80s new wave sound, which probably made them probably appealing to the British public or to the listeners over there. And their album, Hot Fuss, I'm losing my train of thought. There is one other thing I want to mention about Brandon Flowers. Rufus Wainwright did a song. He put a song about Brandon Flowers on his album. On his 5th album. It's called Release the Stars. And he wrote the song. The song is called Tulsa. Wrote it about Brandon Flowers. And it was inspired by Rufus Wainwright's meeting. First met Brandon Flowers at a bar in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When Brandon Flowers found out that Wainwright had done a tribute song about him, he was flattered and a little bit bashful about it at the same time. Like, oh yeah, that's really nice, that's cool, but, do I really deserve that? Something like that. Number 24, The Killers, All the Things That I've Done.